today is the Independent Day for India, and also another day here. And I had early morning, a lot of pictures of activities around the complex, but I didn't know how to incorporate it into this thing, so maybe I'll put it on, add it on the web. The second thing I want to tell you is that I also got an email saying the two plants, the Livermore Club and the local Rotary Club sponsored, have got an award, the best running plant in the state. So that is going on, and I think that's good. All right, I'm going to breeze through this thing wherever I've shown in the past. Next slide. This I never really spoke about charitable trust and how it was started, and I think this is important. It answers some of the questions later on. We established a charitable trust in 2004 in my parents' name, Goud and Goud Memula Trust. Do you have the right presentation? Okay. So there's Memula is missing. I thought I corrected. The little emotional story behind this thing. We proposed to build a complex in the memory of my parents, on the remaining portion of the land in the village. What the remaining portion of the land means, I'll show you on the slide. My dad had 25 acres of land, and he bit by bit he sold to educate or help families. But that 1 acre was remaining at the highway, at the road, at the intersection of the road to the village. Well, unfortunately, my rest of the family didn't support the idea. So my wife and I decided to do it on our own. So we did the first floor in 2006, and it was inaugurated by my father a year before his death. So later on, we added 2 additional stories and a penthouse where we stay when we go. That was completed in 2011. So this is the complex that I'll be talking about, which is very critical about the activities we do. So those are my mom and dad, and that's the first one I showed before. That's the inauguration. Next one. And you see the one on the other side is the completed actual picture, which is a 4-story building. And these are all the families that attended that inauguration for the first story. Next one. Okay, this is last December. My son and my daughter-in-law and 2 grandchildren, they came from here, they live here, and this is the completion of the building. Next one. Okay. Okay, here is, you see this is a view from the penthouse, my wife and I. The first 2 pictures, as far as you can see, is the land that was owned by my dad. So this less than 1 acre on which it is built is kind of a monument. And a lot of buildings have came around it after we did that. So it's really become a more focal point, even though village is 2 kilometers away from the road. So, go on. All right. That's a hard slide for me to talk. Now I'm okay. So I want to quickly go over what activities we are engaged in, what the status is quickly, and show you the slides that I have not shown before. So we started out with the scholarships and school supplies, and did some computer classes. Spoken English became a very popular thing. We still have some issues, we need to work it out. But youth development classes is something that I'm working with another Rotary Club in Hyderabad. They've developed some program, we want to bring it. And also that's primarily to personnel development for young children. The health, I talked about before, we are using one of the floor of that building for a free health clinic. And we have done eye exams and glasses and do some specialty camps like diabetic and others. And we have done a couple of them, and we work with the local doctors to go conduct that. In fact, Rotary Club helped us do that. Next. Under the community, I talked about already drinking water projects, the RO plants, and the vocational training is now the most central program that we are doing, and I'm going to show about that. Sporting activities, I didn't get to talk about it, but this is, we sponsor a lot of youth to participate in the local and state competitions. And more importantly, we conducted a tournament. I don't think you guys know what that kabaddi is, but if I got some time, I got a few clips that I can show you. So that is, I'll talk about it. So that is participation of 34 villages. Is a major event, but it's played at the cross section of the 4 roads. That's all the place they have to play in the village. Next. Okay. Well, my wife and I are here. How are they all getting done? And we frequently go there every quarter or so. But the key is the trust has got some very committed trustees. You know, they develop the programs and they carry through, and probably every week, a couple hours of discussion. And when I visit, I go meet the schools, organizations, and other officials to try to find out, you know, what we can do. And we collaborate with the Rotary clubs. Some positive experiences, some not so, but we work with them. But as far as the financial support, it's primarily for our personal contribution, and also the income that generated from renting parts of the building other than the penthouse and the classrooms. We rent that and we get income, and that goes into the trust. And Rotary clubs of Livermore and Nizamabad, they sponsored 2 plants. They've completed. Let's go to the next one. All right. Why do we do this thing? Again, it gets a little emotional, but in a nutshell, is actually memory of my parents. But it also has to do with all the personal experiences, you know, and I think I talked about before. You know, I know what it to be like to be a poor, and so you want to go back and help. You know, give something. And education of women, especially women, my dad and I tried very hard to get women in the families educated. It's not a trivial matter, because my grandmother refused to have my sisters go to school. And so when I graduated from high school, went to college, I took my sisters, any relative, you know, elementary school people to Hyderabad. So, you know, that is still going on, even though India is so much advanced in so many places, it's still not that open, some parts of it. So I think you also get inspired by, you know, great people, what we need to do. Satisfaction of inspiring others is also a major factor. If I got time, I'll come back and tell you a couple of stories, but let me see, stay on time. Okay, so this I already spoke before. The scholarships we gave out in 2008, and mainly for a meritorial and also handicap, the personal hardship. And there are a couple of students, we support the college. Right, next. Gone. We've seen that before. Drinking water, I've talked about before, and the key here is there is water available most parts of India, but not all of them is a drinking quality. And some of them has got a lot of minerals, therefore the purification of water plants is really, in some places, necessary. Reverse osmosis treatment is what we have used. Go on. I think we found a sustainable way of doing this is to have a private company install and operate it, and village agreed to provide infrastructure and purchase the water at 4 rupees per liter for 20 liters compared to 300 rupees in the store. So it's affordable water. So it's been very successful. Go on. Next. Okay, so one thing that happened is we brought a lot of awareness of the importance of the drinking water. The villages are actually building on their own. They're really not asking for, they said, well, that much we can afford. They're all doing it themselves and became a good business for them. And for that reason, our emphasis is not on the water projects right now. So we're going to do the more on vocational. Next. Go ahead. I showed these slides before. That is done by the Rotary Club for lower left, and those are all the Rotarians. Okay, go ahead. All right. Kabaddi tournament is a local sport, and it is a 3-day event. We had 34 villages participating. No facilities for sports, except they're played at the main intersection of the dirt roads. It's very popular in some parts of India, and it's played in the evening due to heat. And we provide all the participants the meals, and the players and the organizers, and the cash prizes and trophies are given to the winners. My dad used to do this thing in the name of my mother after she passed away. And there was a precedent, so they keep asking, we need to continue this thing, so we have done 2 of these things. It's a very popular, brings a lot of people together, especially younger ones, 8, 9-year-old. Did you have a question?
What's the sport?
Oh, I'm going to show you. Okay, go to the next one. It's very hard to explain, but I'm going to give an explanation. You'll see a little clip that tells you. Those are all the audiences. This, sit on the floor, cross section. So if you can see that there's a group of 7 men this side, you don't see other side also 7 men. There's a line in between. One person at a time crosses that and says 2, 2, 2, 2, whatever the continuous sound. And you have to touch this person to be out, but he has to get out before he gets caught. If he gets caught, he's gone. It's a physical. And if he touches 4 people are out. So it comes down to nobody on one side. I hope I explained enough, but we'll see it in the clip. That will help you. Yeah. All right. Go to the next one. Okay, this is the winning team, got the award. Go ahead. All right. You want to show the clip before I forget? Okay, nothing happened there. Okay. So he was not aggressive. Therefore.
Was that good?
That means he got 4 of them out.
Oh.
He touched the line.
Oh.
He got to the halfway. All right. Yeah. He didn't get it, so he's out. Okay, last one. When you get the idea what that is? Kind of. Okay.
Why are they holding hands?
Well, because to circle the person, they collectively have to grab that guy. And see? Now he's trying to reach the line, he couldn't.
Touch him and then run.
It's physical, young people.
I see.
All right.
It's rugby without the ball.
No ball, no ball. It's a physical. You just have to go and touch the other person to win. But when you go close to them, they all circle. So therefore, you get trapped. Okay. All right. The vocation training, health clinic are the 2 programs that are ongoing and are extremely successful. And we have 4 lecture halls on the 2nd floor, 6,200 square feet. And these are devoted for tailoring, beautician classes, and health clinic, and spoken English. So these classes are conducted at no cost, and necessary equipment is provided by us. Some healthcare supplies, I took it from here. Next one. Okay, these are the classrooms. These are 4 different halls. One of them, you can see the sewing machines. The other one is a beauty. I don't see, you see the mirror, all that. And this is the spoken English. Okay. Next. Okay, this is a real clinic. So those are all the people waiting in the hallway, want to be seen, and we do twice a week. And the volunteer doctors will come, and he is also a doctor, but in the last one, you see how he's cutting those tablets? Those are the medicines. He cuts and gives to them, he dispenses everything right there. And so, go to the next one. There's the doctor, and the old man there. And stick your tongue out and do whatever you need to do. So this is one of the things amazing is if the doctor is late by 2 hours, they're still there. And once in a while, the volunteer doctor doesn't make it, they don't get mad or anything. They'll come next day. So, but it is helping the community quite a bit. Mainly the people who cannot afford to pay the money. That's where it is. Next one. Okay, so one of the things I did is to kind of partner with the Rotary clubs. There are 3 of them in nearby. So we invited them, we told them what we do, and we started to develop some projects together. One of the things they can help is the clinics, camps, diabetic, heart, and eye specialists. A lot of Rotarians are physicians, so they kind of help us do that. And we have done a couple of them. Next one. Okay, next is our meeting. All right. Vocational training, we completed 3 batches so far. But total of 120 women completed them in tailoring and the beautician. Several women started their own business. So I got some pictures, but I wasn't able to show. The several of them together joined and opened a shop, and their banks provide loans for starting that one, so they have a business. But the tailor, the banks give loan for buying a machine, so they do it from home. They don't necessarily open up a shop. So about 10 of them are doing that way. And one of the things we are working right now is to bring together the schools and these people who have a skill to stitch the uniforms, so they can have that partnership, so they get some earning. And trust me, it's not easy. A lot of government bureaucracy, a lot of stuff goes on. It's not that easy to say, I'm going to make uniforms for your school. It's just not, it doesn't happen. Some of the challenges I'll talk later. Next one. Okay, so this is a graduation or a completion ceremony, and you see all the women, everyone there except for the little boy. She brought her son with her. All of them are the students. I don't know if I said this before or not. There's a big cultural thing, caste system, still very prevailing. So when I told the trustees, I said I want to have an open enrollment. You mean you can have Muslims and Christians? That was, yeah, that's what it means. That's what it means, that you're going to have everybody. So you see a lot of people in that abaya, the black one, there are Muslims living in the village. And I also found out, sadly, that I may have said this, half of them are single mothers. And not because they didn't have a husband, but they're pretty rigorous on that. Their husband is there, but is a drunk or left the town or left the family. So it's very, very, very sad situation. So we celebrated this first completion, invited one of the government official, and there was a purpose. inviting him. That MSME stands for micro, small, medium enterprises. There's a government which is trying to bring this type of thing into this, but there's a lot of bureaucracy. But anyway, we said, well, we'll show you what it is. Go ahead, next one. So the women are extremely talented. They performed a show and a fashion show and all that. They were extremely happy. And these are all the rituals that go on. Anybody you invite, you have to give them a shovel, you got to give them a flower, you got to give them a gift. And all of that is something that goes on. So, next one. Here, the guest giving out the certificates to the students. Okay, next one. All right. What are the challenges and what are the future plans? It's not easy. I'm like a foreigner to them. I've been here from 1966. I go there and said, I want to give this free. I say, are you crazy? Why? Okay. Why do you want to do that? Whatever you want to do, that happens very slow. Tomorrow doesn't mean tomorrow, it may be next month. And the concept of service above self is not understood at all. One of the biggest challenges that I had was when I said, okay, I have a trust, I want to do this thing. In 1 month, I had 10 proposals on how they can go do various things. But if you look deep enough, the benefit was going to be about 10% to the people, other 90% goes somewhere else. So we said no thanks, and we do it on our own. And I'm glad I did that. I did not take up on anybody. But also, there's a lot of self-interest. You want to put a water plant in a village, the mayor will say, what's in it for me? I said, well, you're giving a water plant for your village. No. What is in for me? What am I getting? So when we face that, that's the reason one of these two plants we did for the Rotary, I had to change the village 3 times. And the answer was, no, you're not getting anything. You want it or you don't want it. So it's a tough thing. There are many needs, but it's very difficult to identify the true needs. And I get relatives, I get people from all temple, churches, and all of them, and say, why are you doing all this thing? Why don't you just give it to us? And I say, well, that is a good cause, but this is where my priority is. And you have to say, I'm not doing it. So there's a lot of stuff that happens. One of the things, okay. Yeah, our focus is going to be conduct special health camps, and there are a lot of schools, like 40 girls' school, they have 3 or 2 toilets. That's it. So those are the kind of things. The government has money but never filters it down, like everywhere. Money is there but it doesn't get to the schools. Desks and the personal development classes, supplementary English classes, those are the 2 that are programs that I'm working with Rotary in Hyderabad. Okay, so what happened, this got a lot of publicity that we are doing without any funding, doing ourselves. All of a sudden, we got calls from agencies and said, we like to do training classes using your complex. And they're pretty genuine. In other words, we just got approval 3 days ago, I think, last week, to do the training classes for teachers and assistant teachers. So actually, I haven't signed the document that we're coming, but they approved that. So that's what the outcome of this thing is. So hopefully we'll keep up and continue to do those. I'm done.
Let me me see if I have something special for you here. Are you a wine drinker or an olive oil cooker?
He drinks all of them.
And it's wonderful to think of all the differences, things that he's done for so many people all over the world, make their life a lot easier. And I was looking as I was sitting there at the number 3 and 4 of our 4-way test. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Absolutely. Will it be beneficial to all concerned? With all of that very well. Made a difference.